Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Randy Surles, former Green Beret and Ranger with over 20 years in the military, and now I'm an editor, book coach, ghostwriter, and I'm here to share all my knowledge with anybody who wants to know, especially the military crew that are out there. This is my buddy Dan.
Hey, what's up, Randy? Good chatting with you again. So Dan Pace, I'm a retired special forces guy like Randy. Now an author. So I'm a part-time author looking to be a full-time author, and I look forward to sharing some of the pitfalls, perils of self-publication with you, and answer questions about how to just bring that idea that's in your head to life, because there's a lot of steps that go in there, and I think if you just know where to start, you can make it work. So looking forward to the conversation today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we put this together just specifically to help the military people out there, because I really get tired of seeing them get kind of ripped off by different aspects of the publishing and the editing and the writing and all that. And then, when I helped you with your first book and your second book, or like second and third book, or second and fourth book, I don't know, you've written four,
something like that,
whatever order. But, I thought this was a good idea to bring an author's view of this in there too, because there's definitely some places you can invest money that doesn't pay off, and vice versa, where there's some places where you can put money that pay off a lot. So, in fact, we're going to talk about your book just launched, and we're talking about the first week and how it all went.
Yeah, so the book, It'll Buff Out, is now live. It's been out for 4 days, so it's been out since May 1st. And, thus far, counting pre-sales, we've got 60 copies sold. And so, at the My Level world, that's pretty good stuff. We're not a New York Times bestseller, but we have hit the #1 bestseller in, its categories in Amazon. And I think that is a reasonable aspiration for, a starting self-published author. It's something that I think is attainable by other people who are looking to kind of publish in this world. They're like, hey, you can hit that #1 in your category kind of out the chute. Then you've done your launch properly, and then you can trust that a good book will continue to sell from there.
Hey, when you get the bestseller in Amazon, like it pops up under your title, but only while you're a bestseller, and then it disappears. How do you keep? I see other people will keep that ribbon up there and say, we were an Amazon bestseller in this category, but they're not currently, but they were. How do you do that?
So this is something I'm just learning myself. So you can obviously take that little ribbon image from anywhere you want and say Amazon bestseller. You can embed it in the graphic. You can do all that. But you're right. Amazon's actual tag, bestseller, will only appear while you are truly the #1 in that category. So it'll pop up there, and then once you're no longer the #1, it can last like as short as 3 or 4 hours. It's gone. And so there is a whole suite of tools available if you agree to do Kindle Unlimited with your book. That's called Plus Advertising, I think it is, and it allows you to customize your landing pages for your book. And so my hypothesis is that is how you do that. And so I've got my marketing guy and I working through that now. I started listing all my stuff on Kindle Unlimited. I didn't before, but now I do. And there's a little bit of rhyme and reason to that. But also, it gives you the ability to customize your page. So I'm going to be toying with that over the next few weeks, figure out how to basically make a more compelling landing page for the books.
And I'd be interested in why you put Kindle Unlimited. I know some really famous authors do it. And I mean, I got to imagine that you don't make as much money if someone reads the whole book as you do if you sell a book. But maybe you do, because you're giving up 30% or 30% of the digital book to Amazon anyway. So maybe you do. I don't know.
So the rates vary, but what I've seen is somewhere between half a cent and a cent per page. And that's what you get when somebody reads your book. And so if somebody reads, so book length weirdly has more to do with it than I ever suspected. Like you'd imagine it would be more of so when somebody buys your ebook, for example, they pay $4 for my ebooks, either one. One is 200 and something pages, one is 400. And those are the two primary ones. They pay me $4 for that. I see about $1.50 out of that from Amazon. However, Kindle Unlimited, if they read the whole 200-page book and I get half a cent per page, then I get $2, right? When they finish, that's not correct. I get $1 when they finish reading it. But if they finish reading the 450-page book, well, then in theory, I get $2.50. And so I get slightly more royalties off the Kindle Unlimited. But the reason I ended up going with KU, one, I didn't find that I was selling many digital books elsewhere. So to do Kindle Unlimited, you have to exclusively sell your digital book through Amazon. That doesn't mean you can't sell hard copies elsewhere, just your digital book. That's where I was selling all my digital books anyway. And so, hey, we have a guest that just dialed in, um, which is awesome. But the Kindle Unlimited also gives you a ton more exposure. So every person that clicks that book for free and reads it is a shot for a review. And so if they review it, that is worth more to me than probably the dollar royalties that I get from that ebook anyway, because having reviews, drives more sales of the book, just makes it more credible. So that's in a nutshell why I went with KU. But hey, Johnny Roman, welcome to the chat. It's nice to have you on. If you got anything for us, please let us know.
Actually, Johnny, if you want to get in and ask your questions live, since you're only one participating, I'm going to send you an email right now and with the link.
But bottom line, while we wait and see where Johnny wants to go with this, I think Kindle Unlimited, at least at the moment, I've done like a 2-year experiment the other way. I'm going to try a year experiment this way and see if in the end I end up with more copies sold and more exposure through Kindle Unlimited. My hypothesis is that I will, but we'll see.
All right. Hopefully Johnny got that, and he'll show up in a second, or he'll ask a question. Feel free to ask a question in the chat as well.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, this is Johnny's a guy I worked with, ex-military. I worked with last year on his book, and I edited his book. So he rewrote it based on the edits, and we're going to meet later this week and talk about the next steps for him. But he might get some answers in here if he wants to show up.
That's awesome. That'd be good. So, obviously, always great to get engagement.
So yeah, I do recommend that so you're saying you actually get paid more if they read the whole book in Kindle Unlimited than you would. Is that just because you're not charging as much, I guess? What are you charging for your books? If you don't do before you did Kindle Unlimited, what were you charging for your digital books?
So $4. I'm a $3.99 for the digital book guy. I get slightly less for a shorter book on KU if they read it on Kindle Unlimited than if they buy it. But on a longer book, because it's page number driven, you get slightly more. And so it seems to be a little one or the other. But again, I love the exposure. More people read it. Frankly, more people read the book, more people picking it up. And that's just, it's worth it to me to have them read for free if they're willing to functionally for free, if they're willing to, finish it up, maybe post review.
All right, I'm going to bring Johnny on. Johnny, man, what's going on?
How you guys doing?
Good, Johnny. What's up, man?
Good.
Nice to meet you, Dan.
You got any questions for us? Especially Dan. Dan's marketing his book right now.
I'm trying. No, it's a little painful to get started, but I actually just rolled out an Amazon advertising campaign for it. I'm going with the whole advertise your first book and your last book philosophy. And then I'm willing to try again on Meta ads and Google ads, but right now I'm just sticking to Amazon because I've dumped some money into Meta and had very little return. So we'll see if we can change that. But what about you? Is your experience been different?
I have like a little background noise, but I'm gonna try to ask my main question, which is what I typed in there. I heard you guys talk about Amazon, Kickstarter, and you have your site, Dan. And I'm guessing you're using Amazon as more of a discovery tool to kind of like get everything going, and then you're gonna go into more direct sales via maybe your website or something like Ingram Spark. And that's really my question: like, how long do you keep it in Amazon before you go into direct sales? And what are the options and pros and cons? Which ones you like best?
Sure, absolutely. So bottom line, you're right. I'm driving everything with a new book through Amazon because 1, exposure. 2, you got to get that credibility off Amazon reviews. And the reality is people aren't going to leave Amazon reviews unless it's really, really tied to that purchase. And I've had very little luck getting direct sales translating into Amazon reviews. And so for my first book, it's got probably 200 reviews now, 205 or something. And so it's enough that I'm really trying to drive all traffic to direct sales now. Like, hey, it's got enough that I think it's credible. And so to your question, I'm like, now I would really like people to buy it from the store because that's going to turn into, 5x royalties per copy, basically, even counting print costs. Now, the way I do that, I actually like BookVault better than Ingram Spark. I think there are some people who go one way or the other. I don't get paid.
What was that again?
BookVault. I actually use BookVault instead of Ingram Spark, just because I don't love Ingram Spark's print quality, and I've had a lot of mixed bag experiences. Like, I run it through the filter, I think it's good, and then I receive it and I get something that is not up to the standard I like. I'm like, I don't know how to control the quality on that. BookVault's been better for that for me. I have bumped into people who've had problems with their integration, like in terms of turning a sale into a print. So I can't speak to everybody's experience, but for me, it's been very clean. When somebody clicks off the website, it generates an order in BookVault. BookVault ships them that book, and then I get billed from them for the print costs. And so it's been clean and pretty good.
And I'm sorry, I don't know if I caught that. I think I was running the video in another page, so I was having conflicting noise there. But did you mention how long you keep it before you make that transition?
So I haven't mentioned that. My goal, the first time I didn't know what I was doing at all. And so I didn't even know to do direct sales until probably a year into it. I was just counting on Amazon for everything. This time, my plan is to keep it on Amazon until about 50 reviews. And then once I hit about 50 reviews, which hopefully won't take more than a couple of months, I'm going to try and move more toward direct sales. But the reality is, I like Amazon ads. That's always going to point to Amazon. And so I think there's always going to be a portion of the advertising that's just going to go back to that. As long as the ROI is, 1-to-1 or greater, sale's a sale, even if it's lower royalty.
I think 80% of the people who buy books buy them on Amazon. So even if you have a Meta or advertising, or you're advertising on your social media, or you're talking on a podcast about your book and you're like, hey, I sell it on my webpage, I'd say 50% of the people that see that, I mean, I know I do. When I see an advertisement on Instagram, I'm like, I take a picture on my phone of what that book is, and I go look for it on Amazon, because I can get it on my Kindle like right then. And I can get, and so
even when you do a search on Google, most of the time the first hit is going to be Amazon.
Right. I don't think anyone I know as an author ever takes it off Amazon. It's always on there. And even on their websites, most people will give you a sob story at the beginning, like, hey, please buy it from me personally. I'll make more money. You're supporting, independent author. But if you want to buy it on Amazon, here's the link, and it goes straight to Amazon, because you don't want them not to buy your book.
Yeah, that's a sale's a sale.
That's right.
But you're absolutely right, man. People are just comfortable. You buy that Amazon, you're comfortable. I'll be honest, Amazon is still the fastest shipping that I know of for a book. In terms of like click, print, deliver to your house, Amazon is faster than everybody else.
How long it takes?
Day.
Yeah, exactly.
The next day.
Certainly,
just like buying something from Amazon.
It's so quick. It's certainly like less than 5 days that book is printed and delivered to your house. BookVault, honestly, more like 2 weeks, because they ship media mail. Wow. They don't do Amazon's priority mail, and so it's a little slower. But again, that's the cost of a direct sale. Ingram Spark, similar, more like a 2-week window. But Amazon, just like that. And honestly, they don't got to give up their credit card information. They don't have to worry about it. They just buy it on Amazon.
That's a faster review.
It's an Amazon review, and I love that. So I can't crap on Amazon.
It's the only review. I mean, the only place you can review this stuff is on Amazon. They have to review it on Amazon, basically.
I see. It's like there's Goodreads, and I get Goodreads reviews on stuff, but I don't know the value of a Goodreads review. I don't have any way to correlate that to like whether or not it's gonna drive a sale. I have no idea. But I mean, they just kind of accumulate in the background.
Yeah. Well, since I got you here, I don't know if you want me to ask you a couple more questions.
Yeah, do it. That's what we're here for.
So I don't know if Dan knows, but I've been working with Andy. He did my developmental edit. Right now I have a copy editor working on the book, and I've been trying to figure out the cover. I have a pretty good design. I think I showed you something last time, Randy, a little image, and I've improved it, and it looks really good. But because my book is fiction and it has to do with a superhero, it's important that the details are the way they're supposed to be. Because obviously, if it's identifying feature of the hero doesn't work with what I wrote in the book, it's just gonna look horrible.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I wanted to ask you whenever we meet. A designer that can kind of work around that stuff. I have a really good concept already, but it needs to be a little more detailed based off my hero.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to put this in the chat right now, or I'm going to put this in the chat on the YouTube channel. But it's basically, I need a book cover. I need a bookcover.com. You can pitch what your budget is. You can put like 200, 300, 400, 500. I think most people get really good results with 500, but you can put as much as you want. And there's just a boatload of artists on there. You say what you want. You say why you want it the way you want it. This is my budget, 500 or whatever. And you'll have like 10, 15, 20 people pitch to you. And then you can look at their profiles like, hey, I've done 200. Here's some samples, blah, blah, blah. And if you say superhero, then you'll have the specialist superhero guys are going to pitch to you, right? I know Dan's got his own artists. I don't know if that artist wants to do things for other people too or not, or if he'd be the right kind of person for that. But I've sent people I need a bookcover.com who need something really specific, and they've always been very successful.
That's what I wanted to hear, an actual perspective from someone that has dealt with them. So. Because it's hard to go blind and try to, because there's like thousands of designers.
Right. And Fiverr, you never know what you're going to get on Fiverr nowadays.
Yeah. So it's super hit or miss. And honestly, there's a lot of just personal touch to it, right? Some people you just click with. Some people, like the guy I work with, I actually met through a family friend. So he's happy to do work for whoever. I dropped his email in there. If you want to link chat, you're welcome to. He's been pretty reasonable. He charges me $500 and does all my cover art and everything else. And
does that include e-cover and paperback?
Mm-hmm. He's never quibbled with me on versions or anything. He'll build like all the templates I need for Amazon, and then he'll build my ebook cover, and he'll usually do a couple of Amazon little advertising pics too, like the little like kind of drop it on with the coffee cup,
like a 3-dimensional ones or something like that.
Exactly. Okay. And so he's been super good.
Okay. Another like a follow-up question. So. For me, it's important that the design kind of flows into the interior format, right? Like, so that it kind of like has a good aesthetic as a whole. Your guy works your interior formatting, or you do that?
No, I do all the interior. So, and you're right. It could be hard to get it just the way you want it. So there's people who use Vellum. There's people who use Atticus. I'm an Atticus guy, except for kids' books. My kids' books, Atticus doesn't work because you really need to move things around on the page, embed the images in a lot of ways. Atticus is simple and it's clean and it's good and it makes a good book, but it's not the most customizable if you're looking for something kind of off the beaten path.
Right.
Canva, on the other hand, is super easy to work with. You can move your shit around. It makes for a really pretty book, but it's also pretty labor intensive because you've got to really build out every page. And I love it for kids' books, but I wouldn't do it for a textbook.
Yeah, makes sense. Randy, you do work some formatting, right?
Yeah, but not what you want to do. I'm going to put a YouTube channel on for you. Her name's Mandy Lynn. Mandy Lynn Writes is her channel. She actually, if you go to her webpage, she has a course on how to use. What is that? The Adobe. It's an Adobe product.
Adobe Pro.
Yeah. I don't know if Adobe Pro or Inline or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but she's got a. I'm going to put it in the chat here. She's got a. She has a great YouTube channel that talks all about formatting and all the different pros and stuff like that with all the different programs. But she actually has a course on her website that's not too expensive. It's under $100. I think it's $50, and it teaches you step by step how to use a PDF program. I forget what it's called. I think it's called InDesign maybe. And you can format every page the way you want it with, if you want little images on the start of a chapter, all that stuff. And she tells you.
And I'm guessing that it's at the end it's made to fit with KDP.
Yes, she's going to show you how to do all that because basically KDP just wants a PDF. So she's going to show you how to create the PDF you want. Because what Atticus and Vellum, which is what Dan was talking about, are pretty simple. like they got some canned stuff that you put in there that you can upload your own images, but it's not super user friendly. It's got some formatting for where your chapter headings are. It's got like 20, 50, 30 choices or something like that. But if you're trying to do something very unique to your superhero and you want to put the special images, and if you want to put a different image in each chapter or something like that, that requires a little bit more touch. And if you hired someone to do that, it would probably cost you $1,000 because they're going to spend a lot of time working with you, talking with you, and getting all that stuff done. So I would recommend watching hers. She's got a couple of YouTube channels. When we have our meeting, maybe we can talk about. I'll look in the next couple of days and try to get the specific ones instead of just showing you her YouTube channel.
Sure.
And then I'll send you those links. But I think she's really good at this. She does it all for all her books. She writes a lot of romance books, but she has like really great chapter like imagery with like a mountain, and then each one changes a little bit. She does that on purpose.
Yeah. See, that's why I was asking you, because obviously, because it's a superhero type book novel, it would definitely have an advantage if it has enough material, visual material, where you can at least identify some key, like a villain, right? Have a picture of the villain and the superhero or the weapon, or the story. So if you have a few, definitely like a map, like we talked about, because I'm describing a couple of the places that I created, geographical locations and countries I created. But if you have a map, you can always go back and look at it and see where it's positioned. I had someone, but I'm still waiting. It's been a couple of weeks and I'm still waiting. And so, so
it's kind of hit or miss. I mean, once you find a good person, you got to stick with them. But finding that person initially is tough sometimes.
Yeah.
It could be so tough, especially when you have like a specific vision, like you're talking about, because you know what you want it to look like. And you get into that whole like business side of the relationship. You're like, all right, how many times do I want to argue with you to get it to exactly the way I want? When is it good enough? And it just sucks to be in that position when it starts to become a little stressful, when you're like, all right, I've had like 4 revisions. I don't want to start. I don't want to argue with you anymore, but at the same time, I want it to be just a little different. And that can be tough.
Yeah. I get it. That's why I was reaching out to Randy, because it's good to. I'm completely new. Like I'm a complete rookie. So for me, it's even more difficult because I have to figure out a lot of things out. It's not just how to write a manuscript and figure out plots and art and characters and things, but also the other part, which is what Randy was telling me after we did the edit, because that's one part and it's just the beginning, really. It took me, I really thought that once Andy looked at the book, I'll do a couple of fixes, okay, we're good to go for the next edits. Those couple of fixes turn into a long time of fixing.
Yes.
Good though. And I've heard you talk to, I forget her name, one of your authors that you work with. She was
Laura or Lisette?
Time Rangers.
Oh, Krista.
Yes. Yeah. And I felt kind of the same way, right? It's overwhelming first because, you thought, again, you were going to do a couple edits and that's it. And then you're like, oh man, I have to, because once you change one thing, you might need to change a whole lot of other things. But I saw it. I saw what you meant, and it was extremely useful because I was able to see how it could benefit the reader more instead of just me, because that's what I want to say, So that was really good. It helped me a lot. And then I realized, okay, finally completed the edits that I wanted to do after the development edit. But now I got to deal with finding a copy editor, to make sure that all that other stuff is, and of course, I could do it, but I really want this to look good. To me, it's very important because it's a significant cultural story that I want to tell. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and use professionals as much as I could. But then that now is the part of it's time to start marketing a little bit, So I just started an Instagram page for the book. and I'm adding like teasers and things, and giving a little bit of the story as we go, because I'm hopefully going to be publishing within the next couple of months. Maybe in a month or two. So
it is so painful. Like if there's one lesson I would offer new authors, it's that you realize like, hey, even once you think your manuscript is done, you're like, I told my story. That's like 40% of the way to writing that book, right? Because it's unfortunate because you think like, oh, I wrote my book, right? I'm done. Like, no, no, it's just not. And even once you're done editing, to your point, like now I have a big pile of paper. Okay, that's cool. How do I turn that into a real book? And there's so much I personally had no idea about. Even silly things like buying your ISBN. Oh, you got to buy an ISBN for every version of the book. So if you're going to do 3 versions, that's 3 ISBNs. You're like, ah, crap, man, I didn't know that. There's so many things like that.
That's what question I actually had for you. Because I believe that Amazon does give you one, right? If
an ISBN.
You just want to go through them.
So they give you an Amazon internal ISBN. And so if you ever want to sell it in a store, if you ever want to sell it anywhere else, it doesn't work. And so you got to go to Bowker, Bowker, and then you buy your ISBN. And then you can use that same one for Amazon, so you can plug it all in and it's fine. But I don't remember what it is per.
It's not super cheap. You can buy like 10 at a time for like $100 some bucks.
I saw that earlier a while back. I saw that,
but they're not shockingly expensive. But you got to have it. So there's just one more of those little like you want to be in a library. You want anybody to ever carry it at a bookstore. You want it to be like
it's worth it. It's worth it.
It is, and it's just one more of those checklist items that you don't even know exist until I got to do that too. Okay, crap.
And I heard you say this. I heard you say this before. You were talking about the manuscript, and I don't remember which podcast, but you were talking about how every time you read the book again, you still find some things that you're like, oh man, I should be fixing this
every time. And that is one of my favorite parts about Amazon is you can always upload your manuscript again. Like some places, I think that's right. You just read like, all right, I found 6 errors. Every time I do an audiobook recording, I always find stuff reading out loud. For some reason, I find stuff I didn't find, re-upload the manuscript. And I do encourage you when you look at different versions to say, okay, I'm going to do a Kindle version, a paperback, maybe I'll do a hardback. Try as much as possible to keep the formatting similar so that you have to update fewer things every time you find an error. Because I tell you what, my first book, I did 3 different sizes. And that means every time I got to re-update, reproduce a PDF every single time. And it's such a pain in the ass. And it was
about the same as you can.
Yeah, simple. Keep it as simple as you can because version control becomes a huge difficulty. And it's always something. You always learn new things, right? So we're doing it.
So on the YouTube channel, I added another link to Marketing by Shelby. Okay. She does Instagram and TikTok. And she's got like really cheap courses that are really informative with like a 5-page handout on if you do this right now, you'll get more awareness of your book out there and things like that. And I know personally one of the people that I trained as an intern in the SkillBridge program, she used her TikTok thing and over 3 months, she got like 10 clients for her editing business off TikTok, just using her techniques to kind of get more popular on TikTok for what she was trying to sell, which was her editing.
That's the new thing, I guess. Yeah.
I suck at book talk. I suck at all that. I have no advice that's worth having on that because I have not figured out how to do it. So if you figure out
Facebook,
I do some basic Facebook marketing stuff. I do basically like reposts of successful posts. I have done an entire meta ad campaign, but I'll be honest, there's something I'm missing. There's some magic to that process.
I heard you talking about that.
I don't get it. I don't know. Whatever my brain says is not what people like. So I got to find a better way to do it.
Hey, Dan, do you have a newsletter?
So no, I should. I do have all the email addresses from Kickstarter. I have a bunch of email addresses for direct sales. So I got probably 100. And my marketing guy's like, you need to put together a newsletter. I'm like, I'm going to put that on the list I got like 5 kids. It's like everybody else. We got like people problems.
But you don't have to if you just publish like once or twice a month, that's all you got to do. This is because you're always writing something. So you're just giving them updates on what you're writing. And then you have this list of ideally, eventually 1,000 people that you could say, hey, my new book's out there. It's coming out this day. And then ideally your pre-sales go way up,
No, you're 100% right. And the marketing guy, I'm working with, that's basically our phase 2. So fixing the web page was phase 1 to get direct sales to point somewhere that's meaningful. Because I think one of the reasons my advertising was bad before is my website was a little clunky. And so all that stuff we were talking about earlier, where people click on it and then they just want to go to Amazon, well, that's because my website wasn't that good. And so this guy's fixed that. Now the question is, can we fix the advertising and basically fix like the newsletter system to create more recurring customers? My answer is I hope so. So
And,
I don't have anything to say on it yet, but I hope
you
so.
need to put a link, especially in your digital books, to your newsletter in the back of your books, ideally. And especially if nothing else on your webpage, where your webpage is probably in the back of all your books, I assume.
It is.
Yeah.
And you're right. I need to get better at that capture side, but honestly, I kind of hate it. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I hate the whole marketing ass. I hate like being out there peddling my shit. I hate like
It's a whole different thing.
I just hate it. And so
It's
it
the only way to
doesn't come
do it
very easily.
nowadays.
You're right. It is the answer. I get it.
I happen to have a decent following in my social media, you know, not by any means an influencer or anything like that, but I had enough followers where as soon as I opened my Instagram page, I mean, I just did it like yesterday, and I'm probably up to about 50 followers in the book page in a day, you know. So you know, obviously people that know you and all of that, but you know, every now and then you see one that filters in, and that's the key, because if you can continue to keep that growing little by little, because I got time. I got, like I said, I got probably a couple months left, so I should have time to at least, you know, increase tension and intrigue in the people following the page. So that's what I'm hoping for, and then we'll see where we go after this, because this is just the beginning. So
I say come back on in 6 months and tell us, like, if you crack that nut, like, man, tell me how you did it, because I would love to hear some best practices on like, hey, this is how you kind of build that following.
right.
From awesome. It
His,
can only help.
Johnny's main character is a Green Beret that turns into a superhero.
That's awesome.
He
That
is.
is awesome. I'm kind of scared to think what some of the people on my teams would have done if they had superpowers. So I'm
That's true. But
there's some characters out there.
this guy is legit. This guy is legit. He's focused, you know. He has a good upbringing. Let's put it that way.
That's
Hey
good.
Johnny, do you want to write me a note in Instagram from your book page, and I'll follow it too.
Awesome. Actually, I'm following you with that page, but I will send you something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions, man?
I hate to cut out, but I'm about to turn into a pumpkin here. I got
no problem, buddy.
for me at least.
No problem. Appreciate you guys' help. Dan, nice to meet you. I've seen you
likewise.
for a while, but
Anyway.
nice to meet you.
And
Hey,
absolutely,
stay on for a minute, Johnny. I'm going to end the stream here.
But hey, it was great. It was great talking to you, Johnny. And Randy, always a pleasure, man. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. Thanks. I'll see you next week.